Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Gopi Chanavallabha Girivaradari Gopi Chanavallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajachanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajachanaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Chanavallabha Girivaradari Gopi Chanavallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajachanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajachanaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jam Vishnupat Panansa Pravartikacharya Stotara Shat Shri Srimad Shila Bhai Charanvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pashtaputari Shmati Radhana Swamiti Namini. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pashtaputari Shmati Bhakti-yoga Swamiti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharne Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatati Shatarne. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're reading from Canto 2, Chapter 1, Text 32. Vrida Uttara Oshtha Adaraha Eva Lobha Dharmaha Stanaha Adharmaha Pataha Asya Prishtam Kaha Tasya Medram Vrishanau Cha Mitro Mitravarunas Kukshihi Samudraha Girayaha Asti Sangaha. There is some echo. Yes. Vridotara Hare Krishna. Vridotara ushto dara eva lobo dharmakstano dharmapato svaprasham. Kastasya medram vrishanau cha metro kakshih samudra girayosti sangaha. The translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Modesty is the upper portion of his lips. Hankering is his chin. Religion is the breast of the Lord. And irreligion is his back. Brahmaji, who generates all living beings in the material world, is his genitals. And the Mitra Varunas are his two testicles. The ocean is his waist. And the hills and mountains are the stacks of his bones. Purport. The Supreme Lord is not impersonal, as misconceived by less intelligent thinkers. Rather, he is the Supreme Person, as confirmed in all authentic Vedic literatures. But his personality is different from what we can conceive. It is stated here that Brahmaji acts as his genitals and that Mitra Varunas are his two testicles. This means that as a person, he is complete with all bodily organs, but they are of different types with different potencies. When the Lord is described as impersonal, therefore, it should be understood that his personality is not exactly the type of personality found within our imperfect speculation. One can, however, worship the Lord even by seeing the hills and mountains or the ocean and the sky as different parts and parcels of the gigantic body of the Lord, the Virat Purusha. The Virat Rupa, as exhibited by Lord Krishna to Arjuna, is a challenge to the unbelievers. Translation again. Modesty is the upper portion of his lips. Hankering is his chin. Religion is the breast of the Lord, and irreligion is his back. Brahmaji, who generates all living beings in the material world, is his genitals, and the Mitra Varunas are his two testicles. The ocean is his waist, and the hills and mountains are the stacks of his bones. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjanashlakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadate Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Is the sound system okay?
Is it okay for you?
Yes, it's okay, but it seems rather not so loud.
Not so loud.
Yeah. It's maybe a little bit louder if possible. Hare Krishna. Yes, I think it's better, especially for my voice now, because my voice is bad. Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you. So, as we said, we are reading from second canto, first chapter, which is entitled "The First Step in God Realization." And as we can see from the beginning of the chapter, first Sukadeva Gosvami praised Maharaj Parikshit for his questions, for his intelligent questions. And as we can remember from the first canto, Maharaj Parikshit asked Sukadeva Goswami what should be done by a person who is about to die and what he should remember and chant and so on. And then he explained some important points, Sukadeva Goswami, in the beginning of this first chapter. First, he explained that generally people are living just for sense gratification, but they don't know. They see all around people are dying. Everyone is dying. And they theoretically understand that they will also die. But they act like they will be always alive. And they hope that their family members will protect them. And then Lord Sukadeva Gosvami explained that one should therefore always meditate and chant the Lord's holy name. Tasmat Bharatar Sarvatmam Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotavah Krititavyascha Smartavyascha Shatabhayam. That one should get rid of fear of in this way only to turn to the Lord. And then that whatever one would like to achieve on any path of spiritual perfection, the ultimate perfection for every path, whether it's Sankhya or Yoga or anything, is in fact to remember Narayan at the time of death. Basically, to remember Krishna. And this is so important. And then he is then explaining further on about the Parikshit's question. What should one do who is at the end of life, who is about to die? And first, he explains about the meditation on Virat Rupa, as we have here. That one should go to the solitary place, he said, and devote himself to chanting the mantra Om. And by this, one should purify his mind to understand that the spirit is beyond matter, and because we are, of course, engrossed in material consciousness, because we are conditioned souls, and by this engrossment in material consciousness comes idea that that the spiritual being is a material. That means that we identify with our body, and that we identify other living entities by their bodies, by their upadis. And so we should understand this description of Viratrupa and meditation upon Viratrupa in this broader sense of Srimad Bhagavatam, because it is said that Srimad Bhagavatam is Amala Purana, explains only pure devotional service to Krishna. So this is the beginning of meditation on the Lord, that we can understand how Lord is all-pervading, how the Lord is everywhere, and not just that the Lord is everywhere by His energies and so on, but that He also has the personality. And He has also all bodily parts. And there are different descriptions of Viratrupa. We know that it's described that Brahmanas are his head and mouth, Kshatriyas are his hands, and Vaishyas are his belly or thighs sometimes, and then Shudras are his feet. And here we have different descriptions also, that the breast of the Lord is Dharma, and his back is Adharma, is irreligion. And it's interesting because in the Bible this is described that Moses saw the back of the Lord, which is here represented as Adharma. So, and we can see that if we don't go deep in our spiritual understanding, what we see is in fact the Lord's back. um, because we don't approach the gist, the very essence of the Lord. So we stay in the outside of Lord mercy, in fact. And we have interesting expression in Slovenian. To be in English, it is in the middle of nowhere. But we say Bogu za hrbtom. That means behind God back. So if you are spiritually nowhere, you're behind God back. Yes. So we should understand here in these descriptions, Prabhupada also explains in other parts of Srimad Bhagavatam that this description of Virat Rupa is imaginary. It's not to be taken literally. In fact, it helps us to understand that the Lord is a person, because in Bhagavad Gita, in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is described Sarvatah Padi Padam Tat Sarvatok Shiksharomuktam Sarvatak Shruti Loke Sarvam Avritya Drishati. That the Lord's legs and hands are everywhere. So he can turn everything in his hands, because also his senses are interchangeable. So he can eat with his eyes. Now the offering is being prepared for the Lord. Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Shri Gauranitai ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. So the Lord will glance over the offering and accept it. So he can eat with his eyes, or with his legs, or with his ears. So we should know that he has transcendental senses. He has transcendental senses. And it's good for the meditation to perceive Lord everywhere. So we should know that Vaishnavas are his heart. So serving Vaishnavas is like serving Lord's heart. Yes. And here it is described also, Prabhupada explains in the purport about that Brahmaji acts as his genitals and Mitra Varunas are his two testicles. And this means that the person, as a person, he is complete with all bodily organs. So, of course, these are not like ordinary genitals and testicles and so on. Why here Brahma is mentioned? Because through him every living entity is conceived in this material nature. And we can also understand that Lord can impregnate our consciousness by spiritual knowledge. So we should allow the Lord to enter in our heart and impregnate us, our consciousness, with bhakti. Yes, and if we come to Krishna consciousness, that means that we somehow or other conceived a spiritual child in our heart. And if we live spiritual consciousness, then we don't want to progress in our spiritual path, or we are in this case we are aborting our child, spiritual child. So it's extremely important to take care of our God-conceived child, which is spiritual understanding, deep spiritual understanding. So Virat Purusha, meditation upon Virat Purusha can also give us understanding of spiritual sexuality also. What does it mean? If we go deep also in this Virat Purusha understanding. So we shouldn't just read this like superficially. Mitra Varunas are his testicles, ocean is his waist, and so on, and yawning along with these descriptions. Yes, we should try to apply this knowledge, how it applies to our life now. So by this we can perceive, when we can see mountains, we know that these are his bones. Of course, we can also then develop deeper meditation, not just this Virat Purusha meditation, but we can try to see Vrindavan everywhere. How hills are emanation from Govardhan hill, and how cowherd boys and gopis are playing with Krishna on the slopes of Govardhan hill. And when we see some lake, there are many lakes. I saw many lakes are here in Berlin, isn't it? So many water, so much water. From where it comes? There are no big mountains around, are they? How come that there are so much water here? And it's not salty water. Huh? It's not from the ocean. So interesting. I was wondering how come that there is so much water here. So when we can see water, we can meditate. If it's a river, it's like Yamuna or Ganges. If it's a lake, it's like Radhakund, Shyamakund, and other lakes in Vrindavan. For example, green color of trees and herbs and grass, we can meditate that is combination of embrace of Radha and Krishna, because Radha is golden and Krishna is bluish. So if you mix blue and yellow, you get green. So we can see it reflects love of Radha and Krishna, the nature. So Srimad Bhagavatam, from the very beginning of Sukadeva's teaching, is teaching us how to concentrate our mind on Krishna according to our level of understanding and our level of closeness to Krishna. So he begins with Virat Purusha, which is very good because the Leela of Radha and Krishna is very confidential. Vrindavan Leela is very confidential. So, and no one, not everyone is understanding this Leela. And many people, especially in the West, are not even familiar with those Leelas. So, but they are familiar with hills and rivers and other natural phenomena. So it's easier for someone who is not into spirituality very deep to just meditate upon Leelas. It's better to start somewhere it's applicable to him or to her. So yes, and we should know that everything has its purpose. That's also another point that should be understood. That everything has its purpose. So nature, everything in nature has its purpose. And if we mingle too much with nature, we destroy the God's purpose, at least to some degree. Minute, of course, because we are not as powerful. But we are powerful enough to ruin our life. We can destroy many things, but this is nothing for God's power, and He has billions and trillions of years. So, but we are powerful enough that we can ruin our lives. And of course, this is not beneficial. And this is the sign. If we mingle too much with nature, is the sign that we want to be God, in fact, and to rule over God laws. We don't want to submit, but we want to be the lords of the laws. But of course we are too tiny to withstand the Lord power. If some wind blows too much, everyone is afraid, and it can destroy everything. Wind is extremely powerful. It can destroy an entire nation in a second. Yes. Or if some other calamity comes, earthquake or tsunami, no force on this earth, no military force or no other force can withstand this nature. So we should understand that the Lord is all powerful. Also from this, that the Lord has all potencies, and not just that different phenomena, natural phenomena is his different bodily parts, but also his character, we could say, because here is explained modesty is a upper portion of his lips, and modesty, of course, is a sign of a certain character. So we should understand that also the Lord is also modest. And if the Lord is modest, how more should be we modest also? Yes. And hankering is his chin. So we also have hankerings in our life, but we should direct them to the service of the Lord. If we direct them to material achievements, then we are cheated. as explained by Sukadeva in the beginning of this chapter. Dihapadya kalitaradishu atmasanesha sattvapi disham pramata nidanam parshanapi napashati. That these are our family members are fallible soldiers, as Prabhupada explains, that cannot protect us from repeated birth and death, and we are living very happily, although we can see that everyone is dying around us, and we cannot understand that we'll die. So yes. Yes.
Can you have you an idea why hankering is his chin? Where's the connection between hankering and chin?
I can just speculate. Do any one of you have an idea?
Because the upper part is the lips, so that is modesty.
Yes.
So we should hanker only as much as we can achieve, maybe. I think that because it is
below modesty. Yes. So we should be modest in our hankering. It should be our hankering should be subordinate to our modesty.
Yeah.
Yes, very good thinking. Yes, yes, our hankering should be subordinate to our modesty. Yes, and we should hanker modestly. We should hanker for Krishna. We should learn to hanker for Krishna, and this is the highest form of modesty. Because in this case, we don't hanker to be the enjoyer, but to be enjoyed by Krishna. Yes.
It's the lower lip. It's not in the verses. Okay.
It's not here.
Okay.
I believe it is somewhere, but I don't remember now. Lower lip, yes. So, upper portion of his lips. It's not explained that it is upper lip, but upper portion of lips. It's interesting. But as we can see from word for word translation, it seems it's upper lip. Uttara Oshta. Upper lip. And hankering, chin, hankering. Maybe when we want to achieve something, we go like this. Yes, we grab our chin. Hare Krishna. So, yes, it's important to all these descriptions. The one and same purpose of all these descriptions is smartavya satatam vishnur vismartavya nachatuchit sarve vidi nishedaksyur etoyor eva kinkara. So that we never forget Krishna. We should always remember Krishna, and we should never forget him. Sarve vidi nishedaksyur. In scriptures there are many commandments and prohibitions, vidi and nisheda, and there is all of these commandments or vidi serves only one commandment, one great commandment, and this is to always remember Krishna. And all prohibitions all over the scriptures are servants of only one prohibition, one nisheda, to never forget him. And also Sukadeva Gosvami is explaining that one should always remember Krishna. Always remember Krishna. And he begins with description of Virat Purusha. Okay, Hare Krishna. Do you have any questions or comments? Yes, please.
I have a question. You said that the Virat Rupa is more or less
Imaginary.
not literal to
Yes.
understand. And so when Arjuna saw this Virat Rupa,
Yes.
was it also just imaginary or was it real? Or
What he saw was real, of course. Nothing comes from Krishna that is not real. But of course, this was not the real form of his, because he saw many different demigods and terrible teeth in many thousands of gaping mouth. So, of course, it was real, but this is not the Lord real form. It's just universal form, and Arjuna got the glimpse of it. Lord can exhibit anything he wants. He could also exhibit this description that we can see directly, like this. And he explains himself as a time, all-devouring time, and everyone will be destroyed except the Pandavas. So yes, we should know that these descriptions of Virat Rupa are especially meant for knowing that the Lord has personality, and for the beginning meditation, because we cannot perceive anything beyond nature, beyond material nature. So it can help us to understand by descriptions of material nature as Lord's different parts of the body, that Lord has personality. And because there are different descriptions for the same parts of the Lord's body, as we explained before, so we can understand that that whatever we can see has some place in the Lord. This is also to be understand.
so it's like representatives, maybe?
Yes, but also we can understand it's some part of the Lord in the universe, because the universe is also Lord's energy. So we should understand when we see devotees, there of course, as we said, Lord's heart, we can say. Sadavo hridayam mahyam sadhanam hridayam tvaham vadanati nat janati nahanti nagapi. So Lord explained that the devotees are his heart, always in his heart. Jai Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Shri Gauranitai ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanandi Hari Hari Gaur. And so we should know how to behave to the devotees, not to be offensive, and to serve the devotees. And so we will very much please the Lord's heart. And of course, if we see anything in connection with the Lord's body, people in the street, or animals, or I don't know, mountains and meadows and forests, everything in connection with the Lord's body, we would be very humble because we are completely insignificant in comparison to the Lord. And we should know that we are servant of everything and of everybody. Because Jivara Swarupa Hoy Krishna Nitya Das. We are a servant of everyone for all eternity. Not just today, but for all eternity. So whatever I see is my master. Yes. So that's why it's important to understand that also different natural phenomena is the part of Lord's body. So that we should know that we should serve everything. If you want to go from one place to another, we shouldn't ruin the hills because of this. This is modern world. You want to go from some place to another, you should destroy half of nature between these two places that you can travel a little bit faster than it's in your nature, in fact. So yes, please.
So you described that we should try to see Vrindavan everywhere.
Yes.
Like whenever we see hills or rivers, we should see them as Govardhan, Radha.
Yes.
And if I'm not wrong, I also heard that, and this is from Vedanta philosophy, that whatever we see, it becomes like whatever with whatever consciousness we see a particular thing, it becomes like that.
Yes.
So like, does it actually become like that when we see something to be like Govardhan, or when we see that okay, this is like from Chaitanya also we see that he saw Yamuna, but he was thinking this is
He saw yes, ocean, and
yeah,
he saw
sorry.
and saw Yamuna. Yes.
Yeah.
And for Lord Chaitanya, definitely it was Yamuna, because he entered the Lila, as we know. And yes, exactly. Whatever consciousness we have, we can enter this, because Prabhupada saw Vrindavan also in New York. And because the world is a dirty, stinking place, but Prabhupada saw it as a spiritual world. So then it manifests like spiritual world. It manifests like Vrindavan for us, if we go deep in our meditation, because Vrindavan is all omnipresent. There is no limit to Vrindavan. So everywhere can be Yamuna, because it's not materially limited. Everywhere can be Radha Kunda. But even if we are in physical Vrindavan, here on earth, but we meditate on our selfish desires, or how to exploit Yamuna and Radha Kunda, then it turns to material nature. Then it's just another body of water. Of course, that's why it's so important to enter the holy place with the proper consciousness. Otherwise, we spoil. Of course, it brings its spiritual potency, because it's not different from Vrindavan, but we enter with the wrong conception, and so we cannot benefit. So we should prepare to how to enter, and we have the example of Akrura. When he saw the Lord's footprints in the dust of Vrindavan, he stopped the chariot and fell into this dust and started rolling in the dust of Vrindavan. Although he was Kamsa's messenger, and there were many spies all around, and so he could be killed for this offense to the king. Yes. For example, the Yagic Brahmanas, whose wives went to Krishna, when they realized that their wives were pure devotees and that that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, they also wanted to go to offer their obeisance to Krishna, but they were afraid of Kamsa. They couldn't go, so they because they knew that Kamsa's spies are everywhere, that that Kamsa can kill them. So, but the Krura, he wasn't afraid for his life. He just surrendered to Krishna, and he knew, of course, because Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, that no Kamsa can harm Krishna. Yes, you wanted to.
Yes, thank you, Bhagavata-dharma Prabhu. Can you please explain from your perspective what is samadhi?
Samadhi? Samadhi is complete absorption in meditation. So we have different kinds of samadhis. And devotional samadhi is to always think of Krishna and always think of how to serve Krishna in every regard. So usually we tend to think that samadhi is just sitting somewhere with closed eyes in deep absorption of meditation. But it can be also outwardly samadhi, as we can say, that we do our duties for Krishna. Ihayasya haryardasya karmana manasagira nikilasya pavasta. So jivan muktah sa uchati. And jivan muktah means liberated even in this life. If we devote our mind, our words, our actions completely to Krishna, then we are always liberated, always on the spiritual platform, always with Krishna. And this is the purpose of Krishna consciousness movement. This is not movement for worship or movement for some rituals, religious rituals, but Krishna consciousness, to be conscious of what we are doing, to be conscious of Krishna, to always meditate on Krishna. That means to be conscious. That means to live in samadhi, constant samadhi. And to live in constant samadhi, not just during the time we chant, but constant samadhi, we should have a mission in our life. If we don't have mission in our life, then our life is empty and we cannot focus on Krishna, really. Because mission means that we are Lord's servant, and then we focus our mental abilities on how to fulfill our mission. So it's one of the most important things in our life. This mission, of course, can be many things. And usually it comes with our social position. And because you need not to change social position, but to find a mission in your social position. We usually think that we should, if we have some mission in life, that we should become a sannyasi or something, that only devote to one mission, and we can reject everything in this world. But if we have family, then our mission is that our family is Krishna conscious. And then we should take it very seriously, this mission. It's not our mission to make money. Many family men misunderstand this. They think that if they lead a family life, that they should very be materially successful, and that they should support their families in material sense. Of course, this is also a duty, but not the foremost duty. This is just a supportive duty. But our mission should be that our children are Krishna conscious, that our wife or husband is Krishna conscious. Yes, and of course, not we should understand how to do it, not to fry everyone around us, but to enthuse them to be Krishna conscious. Okay.
Yeah, so in continuation to my previous question, like
Yes.
what we see, it becomes.
Yes.
So sometimes there are some temples or there are some deities in those temples which are not bona fide, or even some people they just worship some idols
Yes.
of Krishna, Laddu Gopal, something, but they are not bona fide. But they worship it very enthusiastically, seeing that Krishna is there.
Yes.
So how does it happen? Like, does Krishna really manifest there, or does he not? Because I remember there was one devotee in Chaitanya Leela. I don't remember his name, but when he would do dandavas to a Shaligram Shila or a Vigra which is not bona fide, then that would just collapse into dust or something. That, right?
Yeah, I think it's Abhiram Thakur.
Yeah, Viram. Yes. So how does it happen then? Because if devotees are worshipping a deity with, they are seeing Krishna in that, or seeing Krishna in a painting or a photo or a deity, but he's not there. Okay.
You mean deities which are not according to Shastra described? Yes.
Or they are not pran pratisthit or something.
Sorry?
They are not pran pratisthit. They are simply just forms or some painting of the Lord, and they are worshipping it.
Yes. It is explained that the deities are in different forms. It can be earthen deity, it can be from wood, from stone, it can be also mental, it can be painting. Yes, so even mental deity is bona fide deity. But sometimes even Mayavadis are worshipping deities of Krishna, which are the Mayavadis, of course, are Krishna Paradis, and so there's no Krishna in those deities, and therefore the devotees shouldn't go to these temples, because if they go to these temples of Mayavadis, and they offer obeisance to Krishna there, then Krishna is obliged to come to respond to bhava of devotees.
And if he comes, he gets neglected by
Yes, yes, and so if one is a bona fide devotee by proper relationship to the deity, he invokes deity in Lord's presence in the deity. So of course devotees don't make some artificial or imaginary forms, but the forms which are bona fide for the deities. Yes, and this is a science by itself.
Like Abhiram Thakur would do pranam to Shaligram Shila or some deity of Krishna.
I don't know for Shalagram Shila. Is this explained for Shalagram Shila?
I have heard that. Maybe I'll have to read it again.
Shalagram Shila is self-manifest.
Yeah, to identify whether it's a fake Shaligram or a real Shaligram.
Oh yes, yes. If it's fake, it's
But
not
if-
Shalagram Shila.
But even if it's fake, but if a devotee is paying obeisances, is worshipping with full faith, if the devotee is seeing Krishna in that, then for him it is there.
Yes,
But then Abhiram Thakur, when he does pranam, then it just collapses.
yes. And then this is revealed that this is not real Shila. But Lord accepted devotion because he's everywhere, and he can understand that the devotee was misled in his believing that this stone is Shalagram Shila. So the Lord is not machine. He pressed the wrong button. Oh, sorry. You go to hell because you didn't honor prasadam. You offered it to some stone. So yes, we should understand that Lord is bhava grahi. He accepts our bhava, our devotion. Of course, we shouldn't exploit this. Then our bhava would be exploitative bhava, which is usually in the material world is exploitative bhava. But if we have devotional bhava, then Krishna accepts it in every regard. Most definitely. You wanted to ask something?
The purport was mentioned Virat Rupa and Virat Purusha.
Yes.
Is this the same for one thing? Or?
Virat Purusha means a person, and Rupa means form. But of course, there is no Purusha without Rupa. So that means that every Purusha, every person has its form. No person can be formless. So it's understood here that Virat Purusha is the personality in this exhibited through this material nature, which gives its form to the personality. Understand? So, yes, that means that this form is alive. Because Purusha means life, in fact. Personality means life. Spirit means life. There's nothing impersonal in life, in spirit. In fact, it's a energy of the living entity. Is impersonal, we can say, in one sense. Yes. Okay.
And the translation of Virat is universal?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Anything else? Thank you very much for your attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bol. Please accept my